Welcome back to the Taking the Lead Media Podcast, broadcasting from the island of Oahu. My name is Zenofer, and welcome to episode 156. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a long minute since the last episode. Today's show is the first episode of 2021. Today I'll be talking about and playing some tunes from several of my favorite releases of 2020. And despite 2020 being a big downer for a lot of people, fortunately, bands were still able to release music. Still no shows though. For the most part, but I'm glad bands and record labels were still able to keep active, and a lot of them have started podcasts of their own. A lot of people have, which is cool. I don't know how I'll be able to get through them all. I'm still hoping to keep this one active. I got a couple interviews in the bag that I've yet to release, and we'll be getting to those soon, so please stick around for those. Today's episode, like I said, will be focused on some 2020 releases. The band you heard at the beginning was a track from PMX, a 4-piece Scottish punk band. I love this band to death. The song is titled Who Are We to Pray? The album is Ctrl-Alt-Delete, and this is the band's second album released last year, featuring 12 songs of tech, skate, melodic punk rock. The first album is Rise and Shine, released back in 2004. Since then, they've only released EPs, singles. They have one B-sides, unreleased compilation, and a live album. And you hear the progression and maturity in the riffs and the musicianship on Ctrl-Alt-Delete. If you're familiar with PMX music, they are very technical when it comes to their songwriting, and very fast, very tight, and melodic. And on their latest release, they deliver on all four and then some. The album is released by the band independently, originally released in a sweet CD packaging, and later in the year they repressed it onto vinyl, a sweet looking white vinyl, receiving that 180 gram treatment. And both look great and sound great. This is a band that doesn't regularly release music, so Control Alt Delete is a real treat and a highlight in 2020 in terms of awesome melodic punk rock. Check them out on Bandcamp and on their website, pmxrock.com. Up next is a track from Portland, Oregon three-piece, Old Cross. I delayed this episode because I was waiting on receiving my record from these guys, and it's a solid record. It has 13 tracks of excellent punk rock from the Northwest, and it's their debut record, released by the band through their own label, Zomi Media, and it's spelled like zombie, but without the beat. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. You might be familiar with them. I did play a track from their self-titled EP on a previous episode. I really like this band. I dig the energy, very solid tunes, and a very solid debut. The record is on sweet purple vinyl, which coincides with the cover art. That's really important to me anyway, but not necessary. Check out the band on Bandcamp and on the band's website, oldcrossband.com. The song I'll be playing is titled Vertebrae, and there's also a music video out too. The album is Daggers. This is Old Cross, and you're listening to it here on the Taking the Lead Media Podcast.
don't be an asshole. Have a drink, don't be uptight. Party down with us tonight. Do not die. That feel right. On the weak side ahead. Everyone's invited. We got a show. You gotta go. This shit in my head. Everyone's invited. Calling everyone and all. Get off your ass. That's what it is. Listen on the radio. Pill. Take gratitude at it all. Dig it down on the net floor. Friends and family stand you not. Everyone's invited. Yeah. All right, let's try that one more time. Give it up for Broloaf!
All right, that was a track from Broloaf, a bunch of punk rock party maniacs from Scottsdale, Arizona. The track is titled Everyone's Invited, and that means everyone is invited to a Broloaf show. They don't discriminate. It's all unity there. And also circle pits and beer bongs. And that sounds like a rad time. The album is a recording of a 2019 set of an annual patriotic meltdown. It sounds like a big party, a really rad party. It was held at the Yucca Room, and I'm hoping I'm saying that right, on 4th of July. I'd like to attend one of these shindigs one of these years if it'll ever happen again. The album has 15 songs and available on black vinyl through the band on their very own Stomping Ground records. And it also comes with 3 colored 7-inch records. It's a pretty good deal. And just last month, the band's debut album, Champions on Parade, turned 10 years old. And not sure if you know, the band also features members from Casket Life, another dope punk band. Same scene, maybe a little more mature than Broloaf, but not as energetic though. Check out the band on Bandcamp. And before them, Savage Remains with the track You'll Float 2 off of their latest album, The End Is Nigh. This 4-piece is based in Virginia, and you can check them out through Bandcamp and their website, doomsdaypunk.com. The album is pressed on some sweet green vinyl with 10 tracks of doomsday, horror-fueled punk rock. I got my copy through Snubbed Records. Shout out to Ron and the whole team there. Alright, before I get to the last track of the show, some social media drops. Be sure to check out this podcast website, takingtheleadmedia.com. Check out the site for past episodes, links to the respective bands on today's episode, timestamps, and the occasional album review. The podcast is also on YouTube. Search Taking the Lead Media, and on Tumblr at oneshotsideshow.tumblr.com. I haven't done a One-Shot Sideshow mini episode in a while. We'll be working on bringing that back, but if you're already subscribed to this podcast, you'll get that too. Do check out the podcast on iTunes if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button too. If you got time to spare, please do leave a review and star rating for the show. Help the podcast climb the charts and suggest any improvements with the show. Do recommend the show to a friend. They may find their new favorite band on a future episode. Hit me up on Twitter at TTLM Podcast. Love the interactions on there. Please send love, hate, comments, questions, music submissions, recommendations, and any other general correspondence to my email, takingtheleadmedia@gmail.com. Alright, closing this episode is the latest from these Hawaiian punk rockers, Antimatter. Had them on the show a little while back, and it was a delight. I can't recall the last show I saw them play at. It's been a while, but they've kept busy too. The new EP is 4 new tracks, including 1 re-recording of a previous song. All songs are fire though. A very solid EP, raw and in-your-face punk rock. They do have a new merch store out. Check it out at epicmerchstore.com and just search for Antimatter. I've seen a couple other bands use that website, and I think it's mainly for a band's European fan base. The merch does look solid though. Lots of clothing styles, colors. Definitely worth checking out. But you can also check out the band on Bandcamp and their website, Antimatter High. That's antimatterhi.com. The song I'll be playing is the title track of their new EP, New Plague. The band is Antimatter. My name is Onofre, and I'll be signing off until the next Taking the Lead Media podcast. Coronavirus, COVID-19 is still an issue. So if you're listening to this, hey, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. We're one day closer to going back to the way things were. Stay safe out there, and thanks for listening.